We're about 2 minutes away from the start of the second semifinal for Division I. First 8, 5 crews on the water. Top 3 boats will advance to the C final. The remainder will go to the D level final. 2 minutes to start. And we have a start. 5 crews on the water. Crews rowing through the first 100 meters. That's that breakage point. Meaning, should anything go wrong with the boat, anything breaks, they have that first 100 meters to stop and then restart. But right now, it looks like everyone's getting off to a clean start. We've got a leader with a very quick start out of lane 2. That's Southern California. Southern California looking very strong already with a 4-seat lead over Gonzaga in lane 1. Gonzaga in that second place position here very early on. In third, we move over to lane 3. That's UCF. UCF sitting 2 seats over Massachusetts in lane 4. And then Massachusetts already with 8 seats over lane 5, Navy. All crews now past 250 meters, settling into their base rates. They've come down off of their starting high strokes. I've got USC clocked at a 38.5, but now settling down to a little bit lower stroke rate. They now have about a stern advantage over Gonzaga. Gonzaga still in that second place position as we approach 500 meters. They are sitting 2 seats over UCF. UCF 2 seats over Massachusetts, and then back by a bit of open water. Navy continues in that 5th place spot. 500 meters in. So again, only 3 boats will advance to that top level final, the C level final here. And right now, great race developing between lane 3, UCF, and Massachusetts. Navy a little bit off the back there in that 5th place spot. So we'll see if Massachusetts can gain back a little bit of ground from UCF, maybe get themselves into that higher level final. But what is clear is Southern California has extended their lead out bow to stern over Gonzaga. Gonzaga now 8 seats over UCF. UCF in that 3rd place position, now 7 seats over Massachusetts. All crews now past 750 meters, rowing past a little bit more exposure for the wind on the course. It'll become a little more protected past the 1,000-meter point, but this is definitely a little bit more gusty than it was yesterday. Nothing that these ladies can't handle. And now it's a little bit of open water for Gonzaga over UCF as we approach waypoint, and we'll turn it over to Bill.
Thank you, Adrian. Southern California has been on the lead pretty much from the get-go. They're coming to the 1,000-meter mark with almost a full-length lead over Gonzaga. And the more interesting thing going on, a length behind Gonzaga, is Central Florida trying to maintain their lead over Massachusetts to get into the C-level final. There's a little bit of bragging rights here for the conferences. You have Pac-12 out in front with Southern California. Second place Gonzaga from the West Coast Conference trying to cut into Southern California's lead. A little bit of open water back to the representative from the American, UCF. And they have almost a length lead over the representative from the A-10, University of Massachusetts. Gonzaga is cutting into Southern California's lead. They're down to just a half a length deficit. Both of those coxes are checking each other out. They've both extended their open water advantage over UCF. UCF's now full length ahead of Massachusetts. If Massachusetts wants to get into the C-level final, they're going to have to make a big move here as we're coming up on 750 meters to go. So at the front of this race, it's Gonzaga closing in on Southern California, rowing very, very strongly, getting a couple of inches of advantage with each stroke, rowing at a little bit of a higher stroke rate than Southern California, but right now the catches are almost in lockstep. Southern California seems to be responding, but they're down to maybe a 3-seed advantage. Meanwhile, in the battle for third and fourth place, it's Central Florida now with open water over Massachusetts. Massachusetts has open water back on the Navy. Coming up on the 500-meter to go mark, we're going to bring you up a little bit closer so we can see that development as Gonzaga is going to try and take the lead away from Southern California. Both of them are comfortably going on to the C final, but boy, I sure would like to go in as the victor and not the person that got rowed through. So it's Gonzaga on the march here. They have closed it up to almost dead level with Southern California. It's Gonzaga closest to the spectators. Southern California with a 1-seed lead. And then it's now a lot of open water back to Central Florida in third, still comfortably ahead of Massachusetts. Well, it's a great long extended move. Gonzaga has now gone into first place. 350 meters to go. And it has been Gonzaga now on the lead, Southern California in second. Turn it over to the finish line from here.
Gonzaga at 39 strokes a minute do lead Southern California rowing at 38. Crews here who are at the front of the pack are possibly a little bit disappointed that they're not in the AB semifinals, while the crews in the middle are perhaps hoping to move up into the C final and improve their performances of past years. Coming to the line, it is Gonzaga in the lead over Southern California. UCF in third, Massachusetts fourth, and Navy fifth. Final 100 meters for Gonzaga. The unofficial results, Gonzaga, Southern California. And UCF advancing to the C final with Massachusetts and Navy to the D final. And you can see on the Jumbotron the times for that race. Gonzaga 6:40.54, Southern California 6:42.99, UCF 6:56.44. Those three moved to the C final. Massachusetts was 7:02.00, and Navy 7:09.66.